Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan changed basketball. Forever now, Caitlin Clark is doing the same thing with her Wilson deal and WNBA. Veterans can't handle it. Thousands of signature basketball sold out in 40 minutes flat. This is about a rookie who's tripling attendance, breaking 62 records, and making some veterans so jealous they're targeting her on court. The Michael Jordan comparison comes directly from Jordan himself, validating the seismic impact she's having on women's basketball.
Caitlin Clark wasn't no one ever said there weren't ever great players before Caitlin Clark. There was never phenomenon, not in my lifetime, with women's basketball. And I went to UConn, so I've seen plenty of great players, but nobody's ever moved the needle in my lifetime like this.
Like Jordan transformed the NBA in the 80s, Clark is reshaping the WNBA landscape today. Her unprecedented success threatens the status quo, challenging veterans who've never seen anything like this before, and we've got the proof right here.
Today, Wilson unveiled Caitlin Clark's signature basketball, making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
That's right, when Michael Jordan launched a product, people lined up for days. Now Caitlin Clark has done something we haven't seen in women's basketball ever. She's reached that same level of market-breaking power. The Wilson deal represents a historic milestone. No female basketball player since Jordan himself has launched their own signature basketball collection. Let that sink in for a second. The veterans of the WNBA are watching this phenomenon unfold with mixed emotions. Cheryl Swoops, who previously questioned Clark's abilities during her college to pro transition, now finds herself acknowledging Clark's unprecedented commercial impact. The tension is palpable as Clark's name appears alongside Michael Jordan's in marketing conversations, a comparison that challenges the established hierarchy within women's basketball.
Clark is the first ever female athlete to have her own collection with Wilson, but just a heads up though, the entire collection on the Wilson website is sold out.
This deal's remarkable impact became immediately apparent when those signature basketballs hit the market. Wilson completely underestimated the demand. Thousands of basketballs vanished from inventory in just 40 minutes, faster than major gaming console releases like the PS5. This buying frenzy demonstrates Clark's cultural reach extends far beyond traditional basketball fans, creating economic ripples throughout women's sports marketing. Such consumer excitement mirrors what we saw during Jordan's prime years. Clark has transformed the economics of women's basketball by inspiring fans who eagerly open their wallets at record speeds. The commercial response indicates Clark has achieved mainstream appeal that many veterans have pursued for years without comparable success.
Calling all Caitlin Clark fans, 2 new limited edition basketballs are now available at select Hy-Vee stores. The designs are part of the Inspire series that Clark is doing in partnership with Wilson Sporting Goods. The tribute ball pays homage to Clark's time with the Iowa women's basketball team, and the Dreamer ball is designed to encourage athletes to pursue their dreams. Both are available in sizes 3 and 6 at select Hy-Vee locations.
Demonstrates Clark's cultural reach extends far beyond traditional basketball fans, creating economic ripples throughout women's sports marketing. Such consumer excitement mirrors what we saw during Jordan's prime years. Clark has transformed the economics of women's basketball by inspiring fans who eagerly open their wallets at record speeds. The commercial response indicates Clark has achieved mainstream appeal that many veterans have pursued for years without comparable success. The collection itself tells a compelling story about Clark's distinctive playing style. Each basketball carries specific meaning. The threes up ball celebrates her remarkable shooting range that forces defenders to guard her from half court. The record breaker highlights her statistical dominance. Every searched design element connects to specific aspects of Clark's game that are revolutionizing women's basketball, creating a product line that feels authentic rather than merely promotional. The Crowd Maestro Ball captures Clark's intangible impact, her ability to transform an arena into an event when she steps onto the court. The energy shifts dramatically, the crowd rises with anticipation. People who previously ignored women's basketball suddenly engage with every play. This magnetic quality can't be taught or developed. It's an innate ability that separates transcendent athletes from merely excellent ones.
Wilson did not mess around with these basketballs. Geometric patterns form the number 22 in triangles whose three sides nod to threes that fuel her scoring, and then the black and yellow is a nod to the colorways of the Iowa Hawkeye.
This unprecedented market response explains the visible tension within the league. Veterans have spent years building mainstream appeal without achieving comparable commercial success. Clark has immediately accomplished what many couldn't after a decade of professional play. When basketballs sell out faster than cutting-edge technology products, it signals Clark's evolution from athlete to cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, but she's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family. Yeah. The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal. I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever. Ever? Well, I don't know about.
Wilson deal demonstrates Clark isn't simply another talented rookie, but someone who has already achieved something unprecedented in women's basketball. Her commercial impact is measured in concrete sales figures that place her in conversation with basketball's greatest icon before completing her rookie season. This fundamentally changes expectations about what's possible for women's basketball players in the marketplace.
And when you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Caitlin Clark. That is a
The question now becomes how the league adapts to this new reality. While some veterans struggle with Clark's immediate ascension to the marketing summit, forward-thinking players recognize the opportunity. Clark elevates the entire WNBA's profile by bringing unprecedented attention to the league. Her mainstream visibility attracts more sponsorship dollars that benefit all players in women's basketball's commercial ecosystem. Clark's unprecedented success creates pathways for others to follow, potentially revolutionizing how female athletes are valued in the marketplace.
According to Sports Pro, Caitlin Clark is the fourth most marketable athlete in the world. Yeah, not just female athlete, not just in the United States, but in the entire world.
Clark continues elevating the entire WNBA. She made a marketing decision that initially confused industry insiders, but ultimately proved her genius. What could possibly connect better with Middle America than placing signature basketballs right next to the milk and eggs? This unprecedented move is rewriting the rules for how female athletes build cultural influence. When you think of superstar athlete partnerships, you probably imagine luxury brands, high-end sportswear, or maybe energy drinks. You definitely don't picture the local grocery store, but that's exactly where Caitlin Clark decided to make her mark, in the aisles of Hy-Vee supermarkets across the Midwest. This was strategic brilliance that shows exactly why Clark is operating on a completely different level than anyone else in women's basketballs.
Very, very cool. Big deal. Good job, Wilson. You know, they probably went and put this together. I mean, maybe Hy-Vee contacted Caitlin Clark first, but, you know, this is probably the type of thing Wilson is trying to do.
Picture this: fluorescent lights humming overhead, the familiar beep of scanners at checkout, parents with shopping lists navigating carts through crowded aisles. Then suddenly, between the dairy section and household essentials, Caitlin Clark's signature basketballs stand proudly displayed. This isn't a random placement. It's a homecoming while elite athletes chase exclusive boutiques and high-end department stores. Clark chose the everyday backdrop where Midwestern families spend their weekends.
Here, they just had this going. This is the Hy-Vee Instagram account. Again, Wilson, Caitlin Clark, really smart, very cool video, lots of smiling faces.
Think about it, the average American visits a grocery store 1.6 times per week. That's engagement you simply can't get from a billboard or a commercial that people might skip every time someone walks down that aisle. They see Caitlin Clark every single time, and you know what's striking? Some veterans in the WNBA still don't understand the strategy. They're so focused on being seen as serious athletes that they've missed what Clark understood from day one. Becoming a cultural icon means connecting with regular people where they actually spend their time. The Hy-Vee partnership puts her products where people shop, but more importantly, it tells Middle America, I'm one of you. Clark positions herself as the hometown hero who happens to be changing basketball forever.
And I've said it a million times, it's not breaking news, it's not brand new, but I really do believe Caitlin Clark is the next face of basketball. You know, they've been searching for that in the NBA. Who's the next face of the NBA? It's been LeBron and Steph carrying the torch. I think the next face of basketball, period, is Caitlin Clark.
Look at what happens when Clark steps onto the court. The numbers are clear when she plays WNBA games. Average 1.18 million viewers 3 times the league average. Clark is bringing everyone to women's basketball. Your dad, who never watched a WNBA game in his life, is suddenly asking when the Fever play next. She is not only shining on court, she is also exceptional off court. The numbers don't lie, folks. What we're witnessing is historically elite. Caitlin Clark stands alongside Michael Jordan as the only rookies in history to average those insane playoff stats: 18 plus points, 8.5 plus assists, 5 plus rebounds, 1 plus block, and 2 plus steals per game. She's walking side by side with the GOAT from day one. This transcends selling basketballs. Clark is doing what Jordan did for men's basketball. She's transcending the sport itself. She's a cultural phenomenon who happens to play basketball, and that distinction is absolutely everything in terms of long-term impact.
We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. 2 of them being Messi and Ronaldo.
Some veterans still operate with an outdated playbook, while Clark writes an entirely new one. They're fighting for traditional sports marketing opportunities, while Clark builds her own platform and invites everyone to join. What makes this even more impressive is how Clark maintains authenticity throughout. Her partnership with a Midwestern grocery chain perfectly aligns with her roots and personal brand. She's doubling down on exactly who she is, and it's working spectacularly.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists.
Okay.
To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pro?
While Clark connects with everyday Americans at grocery stores, there's nothing everyday about the divide she's unintentionally created within the WNBA itself. The stark contrast between her $76,500 league salary and her estimated $11 million in endorsements isn't just a number on paper. It's become the flash point for a rivalry that's to game itself. This financial gulf has veteran players pushing back on the court with physical play that seems designed to make a point rather than just win games. Have you noticed how some veterans defend Clark differently? It's not your imagination. The aggressive double teams and extra contact aren't just strategic. They're personal. Players who fought for years to build the league's reputation are watching as a rookie instantly commands the spotlight they've been chasing their entire careers. And honestly, can you really blame them? Imagine grinding for a decade, helping build a league from the ground up, only to see someone new become the face of everything you've worked for almost overnight. threatening to overshadow the.
They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they gotta be drama because they're jealous. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they gotta be drama.
The tension is palpable during games, and it's not just fans who are noticing even. Basketball legend Charles Barkley couldn't stay silent about it. They could not have messed this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried, he said, calling out the league's handling of the situation. Barkley's criticism hits at something deeper. The WNBA wasn't prepared for a player who could instantly transform the economics of women's basketball.
Yeah.
But the stuff toward her is petty and jealous. And the thing I love about her, she never says a word.
This isn't just about jealousy, though. It's about a system that wasn't built to handle a transcendent star. When Clark steps onto the court making less than $77,000 while generating millions for the league, it exposes the structural problems the WNBA has been papering over for years. The salary cap that was designed to create parity now looks like a barrier preventing the league from properly valuing its most marketable asset.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the gain on this young white sister of ours. She can ball. And oh, by the way, she was a great ambassador for the game. And by the way, she came in there and looked out for everybody else. For 22 years, they couldn't get chartered flights. That sister got there, and it was done in 2 weeks.
And here's what makes this even more fascinating. Clark isn't fighting back against the veterans or demanding special treatment. Instead, she's using her newfound leverage to improve conditions for everyone. Do you know what she's already helped secure? Charter flights for all teams, better travel arrangements, a massive $200 million media deal that's pushed women's basketball into prime time slots. These aren't just perks for Clark, they benefit every player in the league, including the veterans, giving her the cold shoulder.
The league won, but every time we think there's a win, there's somebody who brings something else up, and it's unfortunate. It's like when Tiger joined the PGA Tour.
The drama around Clark has become a mirror, reflecting everything the WNBA needs to address: outdated marketing strategies, limited mainstream appeal, and a compensation structure that doesn't reward players who drive growth. When a rookie makes 144 times more off the court than on it, something clearly needs fixing. The league's salary structure wasn't designed for someone who can sell out thousands of signature basketballs in 40 minutes or who can triple attendance just by showing up.
What if I told you a WNBA rookie was out here doing what no one thought was possible and outshining the great Michael Jordan's legacy? How would you react? Caitlin Clark is the girl flipping the script. Her rookie numbers are ridiculous. Fans, analysts.
What's truly remarkable is how this 22-year-old is handling it all. While social media buzzes with cryptic posts from veterans and analysts debate the tension, Clark keeps showing up and delivering. She's not just surviving the pressure, she's thriving under it. And now she has an endorsement that might finally silence the critics. When Michael Jordan speaks, basketball listens. And Jordan didn't just speak, he gave Clark his stamp of approval, stating that the WNBA owes her recognition for everything she's doing for women's basketball. Think about what that means coming from the man who revolutionized how we see athlete marketing. This isn't just another voice in the debate, it's the voice that matters most in basketball culture, acknowledging that what Clark is doing transcends normal rookie impact. Jordan's endorsement marks a turning point in this story. It validates what the numbers have been showing all along. Clark isn't just popular, she's transformative. Her presence has already forced the league to evolve faster then. It planned the question isn't whether Clark deserves the attention anymore. It's whether the WNBA will fully embrace the opportunities she represents or cling to old ways of doing business.
He's getting the lion's share of the attention. The games are now getting put, all of his games are on TV. And he just was a polarizing figure. And Tiger Woods was like that when he went to the PGA as well. He changed the total economics of golf the same way Michael Jordan changed the financial economics of the NBA.